32.42. That's the fastest we've ever seen on the track. He's going to go for it, too. They're all challenging that 1-minute barrier today.
Great line through Shady, coming down the straight now, of course, setting up, go through S. Here it is, going through S, getting ready for zigzag.
And he's really motoring and having a beautiful run, beautiful lines, just like his two-man. He's zigging and he's zagging, and he's clean out of there. No ice being cut. He's not skidding sideways. If he doesn't break 1 minute, well, then I've got to say it's equipment, because he's driving beautifully.
Well, he didn't break 1 minute, but he came very close. 1 minute, 0.2 tenths for Eric Scherer, driving Switzerland #1. One of the greatest drivers in the sport today. But the man that he wants to beat is Meinhard Nehmer. This is East Germany #1. And in 1976, Nehmer won gold in both the 2- and 4-man bob at Innsbruck, Austria.
And as I said yesterday, Brian, this chap is fighting mad. He lost his Olympic title last week, and he's not about to lose his Olympic title in the 4-man this week. He has a lock on this. Unless he does something foolish, he gets a tremendous start. He seems to have a good line on the way down, and he's got some terrific equipment. And I think it's the 3 parts that are really playing for him in this thing. He's got a 7/10 lead going into the 3rd heat, and that's a big lead in 4-man competition because they're usually fairly steady, although once they get out of hand, of course, they're like a runaway truck.
And the reason he has that big lead is because yesterday, in the first run of the competition, he became the first man ever to break the 1-minute barrier here at Lake Placid with a time of 59.86. At the moment, he could do it again.
He could do it again. He's going for it. He's really motoring. He's coming into zigzag, and I think that's about the fastest we've ever seen zigzagging taken. But you see, he cut ice there. He's not having a fantastic run. He's having a very good run, but it must be good because he's going to break it again. Here it comes.
And look at that time, 59.73 seconds. That's a new record here at Lake Placid, and for the 2nd time in 3 runs, he breaks the elusive 1-minute barrier. East Germany won. And after 3 runs, the orders remains the same. East German 1, East German in 2nd place, Swiss 3rd. This is CT.
We're ready now for the 4th and final run of the 4-man bobsled championships. In 3rd place after 3 runs is the Swiss #1 sled. They won the 2-man championship. Eric Scherer, the driver, and he will have to come down this track in under a minute to win the gold medal unless something happens to Nehmer of East Germany, who has already had a sub-1-minute mile in the 3rd run. Scherer, here they go. They're great starters. They'll need everything they have now to go under a minute to go for the goal.
A really fast start for Eric Scherer, 4:82, all 4.
This is Channel 5.
From most beautiful location, Cypress Gardens, Florida, Radio Bible class of Grand Rapids, Michigan presents Day of Discovery.
Watch his split time coming up. It's got to be under 33 to qualify here. There it is. It's a good one, 32.48. Now taking down Paul.
Going through the shady corner, 1,389 pounds of men and machine, and they are flying right now. Going into the S-turn, getting themselves ready for big zigzag corner. Here it comes, zigzag. Zigging 90 degrees left, zagging 90 degrees right. Hit the right-hand wall right there. It's on his way to the finish turn.
All right, here he is. Watch the time. Can he go under a minute? And he is in. Just missed it again. 1 minute, 1,300 seconds. And Meinhard Nehmer of East Germany is still the only man to come down here in under a minute in the Lake Placid Olympic run. After the crash of the Swedish #1 sled, and Bob Hickey and his crew have been up at that start line thinking about what has just happened. Psychologically, how could this affect them, Paul?
Well, it makes for a long time up there that you do an awful lot of thinking. You've got that knot in your stomach always when you're ready to go off the top of the mountain like this, and that doesn't help any. Not to mention the fact that the temperature is getting a little bit warmer, the snow continues to fall, the track has gotten a little slower, and he has on his mind, what kind of problems did Erickson have down there, and in fact, is the track ready for me?
Bob Hickey, a caretaker, a fishing and hunting guide from Keene Valley, New York, was 14th after 3 runs. Jeff Jordan, Willie Davenport, the gold medalist at Mexico City, is not going to get another gold medal in the Winter Games. He was hoping to become only the 2nd man to win gold medals in both Winter and Summer Games. Jeff Gadley, the decathlete, is the brakeman. Here they go. A poor start time for him, 5:08. That's why they have Davenport and Gadley on this sled, to try and get better start times with ex-track and field athletes, but it hasn't worked out.
Bobby Hickey has been driving his sled, though, very, very well throughout the season, Kurt. And it's a shame that he's not able to get off the top of the hill faster so that, in fact, the Americans would be competitive here. Let's see what kind of an intermediate time he has here. Split time going into the big shady corner.
That's a poor split time. This must be the aim of the Americans to improve start times in the future, isn't it, Paul?
Well, it's something that they're working at all the time. And if we can continue to get the interest of some summer international athletes to join the sport of bobsledding and give us those fast start times, we should be better as the years go along. A nice trip through zigzag for Bob Hickey.
Coming down to the finish line. They must improve the technology, too. Here is a time, 1:01.77. They'll be way out of it. Back probably not even in the first 14 or 15. Combined time, 4 minutes, 6:11 seconds. The fourth run by Bob Hickey.
There's Willie Davenport getting out of the sled there. And Willie has indicated that after this last trip in the Olympics, that's enough of bobsledding for him.
The Austrian #1 sled, the driver Fritz Sperling. They were in 4th place at the end of 3 runs. Sperling, 34 years old. Remember the leader, Niemer of East Germany. Scherer of Switzerland is in 2nd place.
A good starting team, Fritz Sperling of Austria. See all 3 men behind him getting in very carefully, pushing down those pushers. Now they're all locked in, and it's up to Fritz to take it the rest of the way.
Well, it'd be a miracle to get a gold medal, but Sperling has a chance for a bronze, and that's what he's shooting for.
The only thing he has in his mind right now is to attack that course all the way down. He has a good riding team. You can see the heads of the 3 men behind him, all perfectly in line. Let's see what kind of an intermediate split time he has going into the big shady corner. Remember, it's 170 degrees, change of direction, 32.80, a very good time for him. He'll be pulling 4 Gs through this turn as he comes out at very fast speeds.
Disco Delacarth is standing behind me, the Austrian #2 sled. He is currently in 3rd place, and he's going to see if he can stay in there for the bronze. Look out, he nearly spilled. Fritz Sperling of Austrian #1.
Very high in the zag part of the zigzag corner, fell off there and hit the right-hand wall. Now he's on his way to the finish turn.
And it is going to be 1 minute and 69 seconds. And that still leaves him in 4th place. Check it, he's moved into 3rd. He's moved ahead of Disco Delacarth. Sperling is in 3rd. A shot at the bronze medal has dislodged Disco Delacarth. And now these fellows feel that they have a medal, the Austrian #1 sled.
From the very first run, this sled has dominated the 4-man bobsled competition. This is East Germany #1, driven by Meinhard Niemer. In 1976, he won gold in both 2- and 4-man, and of course is on his way to winning another this year.
Well, there's no question about it, Brian, that this chap is a great champion. He's had many world and Olympic medals, and he's going for it again right now. A 4:90 start. He has a lock on the field. He has a 1-second advance going into this final heat, but he has a little tick there, and he'll have 1 or 2 other ticks.
In his first run, he became the first person ever to break the 1-minute barrier with a time of 59.86. In his 3rd run, he had a time of 59.73, even better than the first, and that is why he has this big lead.
And when you've got a lead like that, you can't really protect a lead in bobsledding in the sense that you can drive a safe line, but you can just, be slightly different in the way you take your line so that you're not going absolutely to the limit. Even though the runs are designed theoretically to allow you to go full out, you don't have to worry about acceleration. But see, he's really moving nicely down through here. He's got good, clean lines, not right up to the top of every corner, and he skids around a little bit here and there, but that equipment's got to be helping him. It's just got to be in all the practice that he gets. Here comes his time. Look at that. 1:00:30. Another great time. He's way ahead.
There's the final time, good enough for a gold medal for Meinhard Niemer of East Germany. He will win the final gold of competition on the sledding at Lake Placid. Back on the top as we continue with the 4th run action. This is Sweden 1, driven by Carl Erik Eriksson. We have mentioned before he is 50 years of age, the oldest person here at the Lake Placid Olympics competing.
Well, I can only hope for Carl Erik. He had a very disappointing 2-man competition last week. He was among the first 6 or 7 going into the last heat, and then he blew it. And that wasn't the first time that he's going championships. You see him go around that corner right there? He skidded around trying to get into the corner too early. I just only hope that he doesn't have that inconsistency that he had in the two-man, because when these things get out of hand, they really get out of hand. Let's see how he goes into the corner before Shady. That will tell me whether he's really got on top of this slide or not. He's got a very good intermediate time. He's cut down a little bit quick on Shady. He's lopped off the end of it. He seems to be a little unsettled. He gets very nervous near the end. Here comes his little S, and he's going over it. Watch out! He's going over! Oh, no! He's gone over into the straight before zigzag. I think he's lost a man. There's still 3 on the sled. They're not going to be too badly off as far as being hurt, but they're out of the competition. You've got to all finish, and of course, he lost all that time. There's the end of any chance he would have had for the first 5.
That is now a 3-man bobsled. The time, 102.56. The brakeman has fallen out.
Well, we'll probably see a slow motion of this. That's just so sad for Carl Eric. That was going to be his last ride. At age 50, he should really hang up his runners. And, you know, it's rather difficult to decide what to do. Here's a slow motion about a driver that has this kind of tendency to succumb to pressure. In the Canadian case, the boys had a bad heat, the first heat yesterday, and the coach and the manager decided to withdraw them. And maybe that's the thing to do in a dangerous sport. Some of the boys really wanted to slide. It's very difficult to decide. I, of course, would always like to go, but you always have to have confidence in your driver.
And you can see the brakeman coming out just about here in that